might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Yeah. Party till 5 in the morning. Do it again in the morning. Do it like we did this rhyming. I think the government watching. Minister perfect society. Struggling with my sobriety. Struggling with my anxiety. Are you feeling the insanity? Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep drowning me. Blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling. Tell them to shut up the chattering. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Hope you're ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Hope you're ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side.
Oh, welcome, everybody. We'll be starting shortly.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel betrayed.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello. Welcome everybody. I am W.Y.R.M, and this is What You Recently Missed. W.Y.R.M. This is our weekly show where we go over some stuff that I probably wouldn't typically cover, or maybe I didn't get a chance to cover, or stuff that's just going on lately. And boy, has there been a lot of stuff going on. So apparently YouTube took and first of all, thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, engage in the chat, whatever. This is only a weekly show, which I'm gonna hopefully put some recorded videos and shorts on this channel as well, because shorts seem to be driving the algorithm currently, and it's available on YouTube, Rumble. Now that we're on Rumble, which is a new deal, and then Twitch, my Twitch channel. If you want to find us somewhere else, you're more than welcome, but you're gonna have to do it on a different night. I don't do Saturdays. It's just for this show. I'm live most nights of the week on Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, and Facebook, but not for this show. The weekly show is just on the 3 channels. So thank you guys for joining us. Check out my other channels, check out my other stuff, and let's talk about YouTube. So YouTube apparently had some type of unknown decision making that they did. And they have decided to demonetize, not like demonetize a video, but demonetize an entire channel to where you can't even monetize future videos without requalifying. One of our buddies, Ryan Macbeth, who we've had on a couple times, he got demonetized today, and a couple other channels. And we're going to talk about that. If you want to support the show by donation, I finally added a donation bar, by the way. It shows up green when it fills up. But if you want to support the show by donation, you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/cold beer. Buymeacoffee.com/cold beer. So you can check that out. I'll show you what the website looks like if you go to coldbeer.fund, which is a link to get to it. It looks something like that. You can join our Patreon. We have extra shows, all the typical stuff. But that's not what we're talking about. Let me pull that back down, and we'll do this. So Ryan Macbeth made a post today. Let me grab his Twitter account. I thought I already had it up, but Ryan Macbeth made a post today, and this is what got me looking into all the channels that were demonetized. And basically, YouTube is saying that whether you're pro-Russia, pro-Ukraine, indifferent, it doesn't matter. Whatever you think about it, it does not matter that it's demonetized content. It's just demonetized. So he made this post. Let's see if we can find it. Iranians, those for 3 hours. Here we go. So the bad news is that YouTube demonetized me and every other YouTuber who talked about Ukraine. The good news is that the redhead I took for Virginia Beach 2 weeks ago flew me to Charlotte for the Wizards preseason NBA opener. I'm winning. So Ryan has made it completely clear that he does not, like, this isn't like his full-time job, right? This isn't his source of income. So instead, he makes money in other ways, and he donates a lot of his earnings. But still, it's an incentive to make videos, right? Even if you're donating the money, some people are going to use it for a living. Some people are going to do this to pay their bills. But even if that's not the case, fine. But it's still an incentive to make the videos. YouTube did comment on this post he made. They said, could you give us the channel URL, some shit like that. But I don't see them doing mind sharing the URL so we can look into this. And then people started dropping URLs for all these different channels. Wow, something must be seriously wrong. Did you at least get a redhead? Mine's a brunette, but she got great legs, so I'll be okay. Anyways, So if you go on Twitter and search for Demonetized on YouTube, everybody knows Twitter's where everything happens. If you search there and then latest, we get a few different results, including this guy who did a video that says, "Am I in trouble?" Let's grab his video. And what is that? The guy I want to watch? There was two different. This is the guy I want to watch. I think I've already got it up. It's right here. All right. So this guy is from Ukraine. This is his income. This is his living, and this is YouTube's decision they made. So let's check it out.
Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and I know that you are expecting my video and my reaction on PURGE bridge destruction demolition that was done by someone. So it's a great day for Ukraine, great day for Ukrainian army, and we're gonna speak about it later today. In this video I just want to share my own sadness, frustration and anger about YouTube.
Amazon affiliate links are in the description.
And my channels recently. Well, I woke up today and I found out that all of the videos that I got on two of my channels were demonetized. Sorry, I'm not good in English. I started to speak about the war in Ukraine around 5 months ago because it was the part of my informational war against Russian propaganda.
I don't think he's this guy. I may have misspoke and said he's in Ukraine. I don't think he's actually in Ukraine. I think that he's like in another former Soviet state or somewhere close there. And basically his is like, hey, we need to fight this battle in Ukraine before it comes to my homeland or your homeland. I may have misspoke.
It's the main reason why I started, but it became my full-time job. As you know, I'm the airline pilot and I hope I temporarily lost my job. And that's why I got the most part of my income, like 80% I got from YouTube. Now it's zero, and the only income that I would have is from my Patreon page and your.
No, I don't see what you buy on Amazon. You have to click anything you buy on Amazon if you use my affiliate link. If you click my link within 24 hours, anything you buy on Amazon, we get like, I mean, it's literally like somebody the other day spent like $400 on stuff on Amazon, and I think I got like $8. Like I mean, it's a drop in the bucket, but if you're doing it already, it doesn't charge you any extra. It doesn't take anything away. It's not a very high percentage, but it's there. And for 24 hours, anything you buy on Amazon after you click my affiliate link.
Support on donations. So thank you very much, my friends, for that. So why YouTube canceled monetization? Due to the war in Ukraine, content that exploits, dismisses, or condones the war.
That exploits, dismisses, or condones. So if you were exploiting it, that would be using it to your advantage. So you have some type of advantage in some way, whether you're like using it for money, using it for fame, using it for. I don't think that accurate coverage. I don't think that accurate coverage would be to exploit. I mean, I could be wrong, I guess. So if you exploit, dismiss. So you say, oh, that's nothing. Nothing's going on over there. Dismissive. Or condone. But they've gotten the pro-Russian, pro-Ukraine. I do think personally, God, YouTube's going to ban me. I do think personally that YouTube has a bigger interest in Russia. There seems to be an issue already with demonetizing, with siding with, making decisions for. We talked about there's a YouTube. There's a YouTube channel. I'm fixing to look it up. There's a YouTube channel because that filed a copyright claim. That filed a copyright claim against RT News. Okay, RT News. RT News. The name of the YouTube is Business Casual. RT News, everybody knows, is a propaganda machine for Russia. And not everybody that works there is like pro-Russia, blah, blah, blah. But their stuff gets pre-approved. They put out pro-Russia, anti-American stuff, up to and including like about our history, where they'll put out videos about how horrible our history is and how horrible people are within our history unless they believed in communism. It's really weird. But Business Casual does historical videos on historical figures like the Rockefellers and people like that. When they do these videos, a lot of times they'll do like a 3D animation of a photo. So they'll enhance a photo. They will take that photo. Maybe they'll add a crowd. One of the very specific examples he gave is they took a photo of a guy from the past. I don't even remember who it was. A black and white photo. They enhanced that photo. They separated it into layers so they could do like a 3D, almost like span around, right? They put a crowd that wasn't in the original photo. They clipped a crowd from around that same era at a different photo, from a different photo in front of the president. They added that as a layer, and they gave it some 3D depth. And it was a really cool looking photo, and they did a really good job with it. Now, RT stole their entire video and just put new audio over top of it. They even went as far as to remove the watermark. Now, RT's claim in court was that, hey, these are in the public domain. These are photos that are like from the National Library or the Library of Congress or from the Smithsonian. They're in the public domain. But that's an absolute lie. And it even proves that they're lying to hide that they stole something from him because the way that he edits the photos. That crowd was never in that photo. That crowd was actually seeing FDR speak in Washington, D.C., and this photo's in Philadelphia of some different guy. That crowd, they clipped out, added to it, gave it some depth. So they're stealing their videos. And Business Casual filed a copyright claim against them, a copyright strike, because it was like the fourth time they admitted to doing it. So RT today reached out to them. The first time they filed just a claim, a copyright claim. RT apologized, said, "Oh, we inadvertently stole some of your. We did steal some of your stuff." They admitted to it inadvertently, and asked him to release the claim. They'd take down the video. So he released the claim. They didn't take down the video, and not only that, they put 3 more up on RT in their. I don't know. It was like their India channel or something. RT has like 30 some channels in all different nations and all different languages. So it was like RT India or something like that. They put up like 3 more videos that had his content in it. So he filed a strike. Now, immediately RT started arguing to YouTube. It wasn't a strike. This is public domain, blah, blah, blah. YouTube, of course, sided with them. So then he had 10 days to file in court. We've talked about the copyright system a few times. So then he had 10 days to file in court. He does. And RT starts dragging their feet about showing up in court, and they're in Russia, so they're going to have to come to New York and this court. YouTube as a company, according to Business Casual, YouTube as a company sent lawyers to represent RT as a wing of Russian media and propaganda and a private business. Why would YouTube lawyers be representing RT in the court of law? And he comes to find out that, I'll drop the link for this video. He comes to find out that RT basically has 2 strikes already. And the reason they can't show up in court, the reason they can't not dispute it, the reason they can't is because they'll lose all their channels. So the whole thing is very strange. You just have to check it out. We might grab a clip of it in just a minute. But YouTube has recently been, he gets contacted by YouTube. He gets contacted by RT asking him to remove the strike. He gets contacted by a YouTube employee that is from the Eastern Europe office, just happens to be near Russia. And for some reason, she's asking him to take the strike down. If he's using the system correctly, like he is, and he believes he is, and he's filed in court, YouTube shouldn't be asking you to remove a strike for RT News, Russia Today. I think they're bending over for Russia, and they don't like all the people that are making content that is pro-Ukraine, because all the channels that we see talking shit about biolabs and all that stuff, they're not getting banned, or don't seem to be. But we'll let him finish this video.
Is eligible for monetization until the further notice. So I haven't got any kind of emails coming from YouTube support, AdSense, or YouTube itself. So just cannot put monetization on my videos. For this channel,
By the way, again, this is not, I get videos demonetized even on this channel all the time. It'll either be yellow or red. Yellow means limited ads, red means no ads. It's not that. They took away their ability for the channel to monetize any videos. Basically, what they'll have to do is they'll have to remove all their content that covers anything about a war in a certain country, all that content. They'll have to get back their 4,000 watch hours with some type of different content, then reapply, and YouTube will re-review the channel before they can monetize another video, which is crazy.
I expect this scenario may happen one day. That is why I opened my Patreon page where you can support me. These days I will put more attention on that one and post more unique content and articles on my Patreon page. So please subscribe for me there to support the channel. And the sad news that I spent quite a lot of funds to support our guys here in Ukraine, also charity funds and other stuff, so I need to cut some of that stuff as well. And yeah, sad news because it's my full-time job, but with your support, with your help, still I'll have income. So I'm very happy that I was able to build my loyal audience here on YouTube channel. Thank you so much for it, my friends. You are awesome. Thank you for supporting Ukraine in any.
So if you have a content creator that you really enjoy watching, that you like, that you watch often, and they cover this type of stuff, consider supporting them in some other way because they're not going to be getting any ad revenue. This video of mine, we instantly went yellow. I'm going to dispute it, but I don't even know if just like, I'm not covering the war, YouTube. I'm not covering it at all, but just talking about other people who cover the war without mentioning any battles or actions or anything taken. I would say this video will probably not be monetized either. So if you want to support our show, you guys know how to do it. Go to coldbeer.fund.fund, coldbeer.fund. Let me grab, since we talked about it. Now, we can't watch this whole video. It's like 2 hours. But since we talked about it, let me grab Business Casual's video, and we'll just get a couple pieces.
It's me, John Pierpont Morgan. Let's
Let me slow it down for you.
copyrighted material that RT had no
So check out these types of pictures they have and how they upscale them and change them and put the ability to pan around the room and stuff in them. So check this out.
actually a 3D animation.
Yeah, mine's now yellow. As soon as I finished that, as soon as I started playing that guy's video, it went yellow.
Let me show you how this works. This scene was created by layering several.
So I think this is about JP Morgan. They've got the background, they've got the pillars, they've got the level that the background people are on, they've got the level that the foreground people on. They have 2 or 3 different levels of crowd here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 layers they've put into this photo. This is because RT just claims that anybody can just Google these photos. We didn't steal their content. We just simultaneously Googled the exact same photos they did and the exact same order, had them on the screen for the exact same amount of time. Watch.
Different images on top of one another into a carefully constructed 3D model. After
I do just a little bit with photos and images, and last night I was editing a photo that someone had made of Phil with a phallic-shaped object in his hand to make it look more realistic because they're horrible. I'm not good at it, and I know how long it takes me to just do the very simple things that I do. So I know it takes them forever, which they have editors that do it, but they got to pay them.
Each image and determining the appropriate amount of space between those images, a virtual camera moves through the scene. This 3D visual effect, known as parallax, is what provides Business Casual's visuals with its signature depth of field. This effect cannot be achieved by merely...
All right, so this is the original photo that you would have found, okay? This is the photo you could find at the Library of Congress, the one on the right, that you could Google, that you could find, okay? This is the photo they made. So they expanded it. They brought it out to 1080 size. They put this crowd in it. They do this zoom effect where they zoom in and zoom out and pan and stuff.
Zooming in or panning across a two-dimensional image. Before a photo...
See how everything's moving on their photo, on this photo, because it's flat.
Oh, my nephew made a meme for me. Yay! Thanks, nephew.
doing my part to see the donation bar in action. 3 6-packs from Gypsy Daisy. Thank you very much. It'll take just a second to update, but then it'll get there. But thank you very much for the donation at Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate it. It'll fill up slowly. It'll get there. Anyways, see how when this photo, when you zoom out, everything moves at the same pace. When you add parallax and distance in a scene, the stuff that's farther away, just like when you're driving in your car, it looks like the light poles are going by as fast as they possibly can. But if you look out at a distant mountain, it's like it's barely moving, right? So the closer it is, the faster the things move. The slower it is, the quicker they move. Or the further it is, the closer it is, the quicker. The further it is, the slower.
Photo can be placed into a 3D model. It must oftentimes be completely reconstructed. Business Casual uses digital paintbrushes to painstakingly draw new facial features for various characters.
So look at that photo and how much they retouched it.
A new set of eyes and so.
So look how much this photo is retouched versus this photo. And again, when RT stole it, they're claiming like, oh, you just Googled it and so did we. That's how it works. You know, we all Google the same photos with the exact same improvements, with the exact same edits, with the exact same everything going on. Get out of here.
Forth. It's as much an artistic process as a technical one. For example, on
YouTube's owned by Alphabet. Alphabet, you know, the corporation. You can look at its board of directors and stuff. It is, I guess, very well documented. They were originally funded by the CIA.
the left-hand side of your screen, you can see a public domain image of myself from the Library of Congress. Notice the creases in this photo, the pixelation, the not-so-dark suit, and, yes, I'll admit it, my less than appealing nose caused by my acne rosacea. Okay, now let's see what...
I just want to show you how they have this going on.
Wow!
All right, so look at the difference in those. That's a big difference in those photos. They cleared up his acne rosacea. They took all the creases out. They've redarkened everything. They took away all the defects. They've come in and his hand is whited out. Let me move my head. They've added all the details and features back to his hands. Like, this is a completely different photo. Once you do this edit, it's a different photo. It's not public domain. So you can see how much work this company put into it. Now I want you to watch this whole video when you get a second or when you get some time. But let's jump to YouTube's lawyers.
Suze just resubscribed for 5 months.
Thank you for the resubscription. That was from Suze Brexler. It's Suze Bressler. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 5-month streak.
YouTube would later argue in its motion to dismiss that when RT filed its counter notifications, RT's copyright strikes were basically reclassified from strikes to allegations of infringement. Therefore, the repeat infringer is not actually a repeat infringer. But
so they got strikes there, which would be their third strike. Their channel should have been gone. So when you get a third strike on YouTube, your channel's automatically gone. You can still argue it, but your channel's taken down. None of your videos are up. You can't log into your channel. They actually send you an email that you have to contact them through to try to dispute that your channel's back, or that you can have your channel back, or that they made a mistake or whatever. They reclassified theirs so they could keep putting out their content on all their platforms.
But rather an alleged repeat infringer. In a conference call with Judge Ramos, here's how YouTube's lawyer explained their position.
In this case, TV Novosti has submitted counter notifications under penalty of perjury, disputing Business Casual's claims that an infringement occurred. Now, I understand that with respect to one of them, TV Novosti withdrew one of the counter notices. That's true. But that's only with respect to one of their videos. For 2 other infringing videos, they submitted counter notifications and never withdrew them. And I suspect that the reason why, Your Honor, is because even if they copied content from Business Casual's videos, the content is not copyrightable to Business Casual to begin with. Or at least...
Why would YouTube be arguing the case for a Russian propaganda wing? Why does YouTube have attorneys even on? First of all, he's not right. Again, he's making this argument this is public domain photos. It's not. It's highly edited, highly transformed photos. Second of all, why is he even there to make an argument? Why is he even in court to make an argument? This is the YouTuber versus the other YouTuber need to show up in court. And whoever has copyright or doesn't have copyright will be decided by the judge. Why does YouTube have lawyers arguing this? It's a very, very strange. Very strange. They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't even be part of this. If he wants to sue YouTube separately, sure. But YouTube's breaking its own policy. Again, if this was me or this was you, it wouldn't matter whether we were in the right or the wrong. The channel goes down, and then you have to prove you're innocent. Their YouTube for RT is accepting that they're innocent, and then someone has to prove that they're beyond a shadow of a doubt guilty. That's not how it works.
RT has a very strong copyrightability defense. RT also very likely has a very strong fair use defense, which is something that is being litigated in the related case. We are not judge, jury, or executioner, and the DMCA does not require us to be judge, jury, and executioner. That wouldn't be appropriate. In this case, we have one user who has submitted 3 takedown.
Well, first of all, it is. I mean, it's highly transformative. The whole photo is basically redrawn. I think in one of their posts they say there's less than 10% of the original photo in most of the cases on average. But that still doesn't tell us why YouTube's even there.
Notices with respect to just a few seconds worth of content, and those takedown notices are being disputed. It is absolutely appropriate in that circumstance to say, we don't know who's right, there are arguments on either side, go litigate your case, and then let us know how that turns out.
Sure, that's exactly what you do. You say, hey, we don't know who's right, go litigate your case, let us know what the judge decides, and then we'll finish it there. But if you're anybody else on the platform, your channel would be down, your videos would be down, you wouldn't be making money, you wouldn't be able to upload, you wouldn't be able to comment, you'd have to make a new fucking channel, you'd have to start all over. But if you're RT, they say, okay, go litigate your case, but we're going to allow them to keep using your content. We're going to allow them to keep making new content. We're going to allow them to keep spreading the propaganda machine. We're going to allow them to drag their feet. We're going to remove this strike and just put it in a hold, and then you let us know how the case goes, if they ever even show up in court.
YouTube is nothing more, at least.
The reason you wouldn't do this is because if this was true, if this is the way it worked, when someone struck me for my 3rd time, I would just never show up in court. If you're going to leave me in a holding pattern and I can never be taken down, I would just never show up in court, especially if I was headquartered outside the United States. Are you kidding me? Chickaboom1, subscribe to your channel. Thank you very much for the subscription. Especially if I wasn't. What is this? If they just never show up, they can never be taken down. Once you go to court and lose, that's when you get taken down. They never show up to court.
With respect to TV Novosti's videos than an automated hosting platform.
At first glance, this explanation for why YouTube is not terminating RT's channels.
No, you don't. You don't just miss court. You file for extensions. You drag your feet. You file for change of venue. You file a motion. You set in discovery for 6 months. I'm not saying just have a court date and don't go.
May sound perfectly appropriate, but there's only one problem. Almost everything that YouTube's counsel just said is simply not true. At the end of this video, I'll talk more about YouTube's false and contradicting statements to the court, but 3 things must be said here. First and foremost, what YouTube lawyer Jason Mollick conveniently forgot to mention is that YouTube has actual knowledge of the fact that RT's 3rd infringing video exploited the exact same 28 copyrighted scenes as RT's 1st infringing video.
So the first one, now this is a good point in his case. The first video he struck, or he filed a claim against, the first infringing video, they admitted guilt. They came out and said, you're right. We stole some of your content. We'll take it down. Would you, pull the thing off? And he did. The 3rd time they did it, it was the exact same portion of the video. So if they admitted guilt in the first one and said, you're right, we're sorry, we stole some of your content, and then they use the exact same thing on the third one, how can YouTube be saying, oh, well, they didn't know, this is public domain, they've already admitted that they made the mistake.
Video. This is a very important detail because, as you already know, RT retracted their
Hey, what's up? Thank you for subscribing. Has resubscribed with Prime. Thank you. I appreciate it.
counter notification concerning that admittedly infringing video. RT has already conceded that that video was a blatant ripoff of business casual.
They even said blatant ripoff in their admission.
Material, and that the copyright strike placed on that video was indeed legitimate. Now you may be saying, but Alex, hold up. If RT's first infringing video used around 1.5 minutes of Business Casual's JP Morgan video, then how can RT's third infringing video exploit those same 28 scenes? I thought you said it was about 9 minutes. The answer is because RT's third infringing video was a YouTube live stream, which looped 6 times. We have a 100-hour screen recording proving this. YouTube.
It looped 6 times with his content in it. It looped 6 times with his content in it. Anyways, go watch the video. I only showed a snippet of it, two sections out of it. It's chopped up to where you can jump to the part that you want to see, but go watch their video. It's crazy that the way that YouTube treats some people and then treats other people. Everybody knows after like 100,000 subscribers or whatever, you get representation, blah, blah, blah. But this is even beyond that. This is above and beyond all of that.
Any means. So my friends, you are awesome. Without you, I'll be zero. So still the big question for me, why my pilot blog YouTube channel that got more than 1 million subscribers, but obviously not many views, why that channel was demonetized. So it's a surprise for me. I contacted the Google.
So what he's saying now is like his one channel where he covers Ukraine-Russia war stuff was demonetized. But also his other channel where he doesn't cover any of that was demonetized.
Our YouTube support and waiting for their response. And as I said to you, so far, haven't received any kind of emails from Google.
So that's one YouTuber is demonetized. We already know Ryan Macbeth is demonetized. Where's the guy that said, "Am I in trouble?" So there's all these posts. A lot of people were demonetized too, apparently. It's just YouTube being YouTube, money above anything. I'm trying to find a proper reason for it, but I just can't come up with one. Even YouTube is on the wrong side of history nowadays. And let's grab this one and see what he says here.
Welcome back, my friends. Jake here. I woke up this morning with the intention of filming a completely different video. We all know what we want to be talking about this morning, but I woke up and was horrified to discover that some of my closest YouTube friends who also talk about the war in Ukraine, their channels have been completely demonetized by YouTube. Here's Dennis Davidoff. I've interviewed him and had him on the channel. My channel is now demonetized because I cover the war, maybe. And this is what he said in his video as to why YouTube told him they demonetized his channel.
YouTube canceled monetization.
I want to see if he talks about his own channel.
About 1 million views. He operates more than one channel.
So this other channel is what people are curious about in his case, right? Pilot blog. It's literally about him being a commercial airline pilot. Is this recent? Yes, today.
Also has the channel Pilot Blog. It has over 1 million subscribers. There's nothing to do with the war in Ukraine on this channel. This is his pilot and travel channel, and this was also demonetized. So it wasn't the channel, it was Dennis who was demonetized.
The person. This is the other one I wanted to see. Let's grab that one, actually. Artur Rehi. This is the other one I watched earlier. I actually did want to see this. My channel is now demonetized because I cover the war.
Hello, my friends. So today I just uploaded the video about the Crimean Bridge, you know, it being destroyed and everything.
Cool.
I did the video and I uploaded it. And usually when I upload a video, there's like a few hour pause before I publish it because YouTube needs to make sure everything is good, you can monetize the video, and I'm very nervous because I'm making videos about the Ukrainian war. If I get monetized, you know, I'm very nervous about that. And this time it uploaded and it didn't take the break. It said that, yeah, you're good to go, just upload it. So I was like, what's going on? Why so fast? I went to the videos and I noticed that it is not demonetized. There's not even an option of monetization. Like if you get demonetized.
So demonetize is one thing. The entire video demonetized is one thing. The entire channel not able to monetize is something completely different.
You get the monetization option and it's like yellow or red. There's no option. And then for my horror, I watched like the endless list of the videos I've made. 1,500 videos on my channel. Some are unlisted, of course. And they don't have the option. The entire channel seems to be just cut out of the partner program. And so I went to AdSense, YouTube AdSense, and there it is, the letter. This
Ryan Macbeth did just post, like someone said in the chat, says, looks like I monetized again. Thank you at Team YouTube. If someone did this accidentally, please call it a learning experience. Nobody comes into work intending to do a bad job. You'd be surprised.
morning I got the letter. I'll read it to you now.
All right, so he's reading the email.
We will exterminate monetization of content that exploits, dismisses, or condones the war. So I guess it doesn't matter if you dismiss or condone or approve of it, you're not being monetized. But for me, it's
And there's actually, I think this comes at a very interesting time. Okay, I think that we had some stuff going on with a bridge today. I'm trying to be vague so they don't innocently demonetize mine. We've had some threats of some possible tactical weapons used, and we've had threats of maybe just a trial, like a show of force to be done in the ocean. I've heard a lot of people think that the vehicle that went missing from the Arctic Circle that carries the Poseidon is they think that they're gonna bring it to Havana. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, I think it's a very, very interesting time. Tides are shifting. Stuff that one leader might hold very personal and consider a slap in the face just happened. He's already made threats, and now we'll see what those threats are. Let me grab something else I wanted to cover quickly while we're sitting here. So this came out not long ago. Let's check it out. It says U.S. Navy plane flew near Nord Stream 2 after rupture. U.S. Navy reconnaissance aircraft last week flew near the side of a ruptured Nord Stream 2 pipeline in the Baltic Sea hours after the first damage emerged, according to tracking reviewed by Reuters, although Washington said it was a routine flight. So plane approaches from Iceland, does a little area here. This is the refueling behind my head that Monkey was covering. This is all the refueling where he's like, they're tangled together, they're getting fueled up. Then this is where he claims that they come out and do some type of attack, and then they return back to Iceland. Hours after the first damage emerged. Hours. By the way, this news story was broken by someone completely different, but Reuters is going to take the credit for that, and Monkey Works is going to close his eyes and just go, I can't hear you. So there it is. There is the evidence that's being shared around today about that Poseidon. So everybody can argue about it in the chat, but it's out there now. There's mainstream publications are putting out the same exact thing that you can go see yourself, that Sage News talked about, that he tracked, that you can watch Monkey do it. Even though he's claiming that it's at the same time, you can literally watch his timestamps on his screen don't add up. 7 hours difference. 7 hours too late. All right, so that happened. Let's break it up with something. There's been some things going on in the world of TikTok. In case you're wondering, there is a guy that goes by the name of there's a guy who is currently being talked about, the name Tragic Mike. Now, Tragic Mike is just a hardworking man doing a hardworking job as a lady entertainer. Okay, he likes to entertain the ladies, but he's not so good at his job. Now, personally, I think that this video is probably fake, but either way, it's funny. There's a 3-part video. Let's check it out. Oh, Dr. J Banana with $2 super chat. I love getting worms on Saturday night. Yeah, you'll do that. Undercooked meat, lay with dogs. You're going to get the worms, stuff like that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the donation. It's $2 more. It'll update in a minute, I'm sure.
It's my job. It's my income.
Oh, I didn't hit enter.
I do.
That time we hired a stripper to come to my friend's bachelorette party in Gatlinburg.
Okay, I'm a little out of shape. I got the flu for like a month and lost 10 pounds. It was horrible. I've been like eating everything in sight.
Are you better?
So this is Tragic Mike instead of Magic Mike. This would be Tragic Mike. And instantly during the dance, he starts talking about he's had the flu for the last month. So he's out of shape. He's not doing so good. He's a lady pleaser, I'll tell you that much. Tragic Mike.
It was horrible. I've been like eating everything in sight.
Are you better now?
Yeah, I'm better now. I'm just like trying to get my weight back, you know. I gained like 7 pounds in 2 weeks.
Wait, on. Okay. Wait.
Just doing his thing there. Tragic Mike. So that was part 1. Now this video obviously went viral, and we ended up getting some more parts to it. So let's go to part 2. Part 2 had a lot more, 500,000 views on part 2.
Part 2 of Tragic Mike the stripper from Gatlinburg.
It looks like Derek Johnson. This is before he found fame. You couldn't. This is. Oh God! So he doesn't say anything in this one, and I'll go ahead and mute it because of music. I'll probably have to mute this section in my video, but so he's dancing around. Clearly, there's some people off to either side that are like, "Oh my God, what the F is going on? Is this really happening?" They seem aroused. I'll tell you that much. They seem aroused. Finally found you. Just click the link. I posted a link on Facebook, all of them. Anyways, they seem very, very intrigued by Tragic Mike. And the last Tragic Mike, he gets into it on this one.
Mike the stripper from Gatlinburg.
It fucked me up.
Part 3 of Tragic Mike the stripper from Gatlinburg.
It fucked me up bad. I lost 13 pounds. I gained about 6 or 7 pounds. I was like,
Part 3 of Tragic.
Like the whole time he's just talking about how he was sick and he lost a bunch of muscle mass. He lost a bunch of muscle mass and put on a bunch of pudge. And that's why, you know, he's got like a little pudgy belly and blah, blah, blah. Like if your stripper shows up, first of all, I've always thought that it's always awkward when you're like, I guess a stripper by yourself wouldn't be awkward, but like when you're with your friends and buddies and like getting a lap dance, that's weird, right? I don't know. It's awkward to me. Anyways, but if the stripper shows up and starts making excuses for their body right off the bat, like, sorry, I just had an emergency C-section last week and, you know, the amputation with my big toe, that's been a problem. And then I have an inner ear infection. It's thrown off my balance. If I fall down, just pretend it's part of the show and don't help me back up.
Mike the stripper from Gatlinburg.
it fucked me up bad. I lost 13 pounds. I gained about 6 or 7 pounds. I was like,
I think it actually might be fake. I think this might be one of those women's husbands, and they were in Gatlinburg for Christmas or something, and they did this because it's just so out there. But if it's not, Derek Johnson doesn't even know that he is completely famous. Derek Johnson impersonator, that he's going viral yet. We need this guy to find out that he's fucking famous as Tragic Mike. Tragic Mike, the Gatlinburg stripper. He seems like a good dude, but I think he's oblivious to the fact that he is very famous currently. There's been some other things going on, like see if we can grab this one. Be careful out there in Wyoming. It seems as if the animals have taken a different path, and now they're coming at. They've got the taste of human, and they're not willing to back down.
Oh my God!
Back up. One baby bear. Baby.
Baby, come! No!
Lots of screaming.
One baby bear. Baby.
Baby, come! No!
So that is a woman and an elderly gentleman. I'll zoom in some more. Hold on. And an elderly gentleman fighting a deer on their front porch. They try to fight the deer. Then they try to get away from the deer at first, but then the dog tries messing with the deer. I have to fix all this bag, but we can do it for right now. Then the dog tries messing with the deer. And she starts swinging her purse at it. Let's start it over to where you guys can see it a little bit better.
Oh my God!
So it kind of stumbles and falls out of like her garage or shed or something. Like it runs into the wall and stumbles. So it's in a vulnerable position. And of course, it's probably going to try to defend itself, especially if it doesn't realize that there's an easy way out. A deer can be incredibly dangerous, especially if they feel like they're cornered. I mean, they've got antlers for a reason, and this one is not afraid to use his.
Baby.
So the baby, so she turns around. Their dog's name is Baby. There's not an actual baby there. The dog's name is Baby. The man says, "Baby, get her." And she turns around in the wrong direction because the dog's already running in that direction. She spins in the wrong direction, and the dog goes over there and tries to bark, and the deer goes after the dog.
Baby, come! No!
So then the deer comes after her. The best thing you can do, if I had to give you advice, the best thing that you can do is try to grab the antlers at the base. Now, they're incredibly strong for their size. Deer typically don't get fat and lazy like humans do, right? It's almost all muscle. The best thing that I could advise you to do, especially if you're like backed up against a wall or something, is brace your back up against the wall, hold on to the base of the antlers where there's no, sharps or whatever that can poke you, and try to lock your arms out. Because if you can't get your back up against something, you're going to be backpedaling until it literally overcomes your speed, and then it's going to trample you. And its hoofs are very dangerous as well. So if you get your back up against something, maybe you can at least lock your arms out and try to hold it off, or put a foot on its face or something until it turns its head and goes somewhere else. This is it's not a good situation. So the guy tries to get the deer off the lady. I think this might be, he seems much more elderly than the woman, so this may be her dad. I'm not positive. Here's one thing I can't stand. Like there's a time to fight, there's a time to scream, there's a time, like she just stands over here in the corner just going, like that's not the time, okay? All you're doing is diverting attention, getting the deer's attention, but just to stand there and do something, go in the house, go out the house, get a broom, make a sandwich. Don't just stand there like an alarm, like a fucking car alarm going off. It's not helping. So someone said it's probably making the deer more aggressive. It's definitely not helping the situation, right? Mariah does this. Mariah gets into a panic where she starts crying, and then for some reason looking up like God's going to come down a set of stairs and save her. She'll start looking up at the sky and she'll flap her arms to her side like a penguin. She's done it to me a couple times. She's done it when I almost drowned myself in the river and broke my foot after she flipped the canoe. She's done it to me when Oliver had his seizure. There's been a couple more times. Any emergency, Mariah's going to be crying and screaming, looking straight up and flapping her arms like a penguin at the zoo. That's how you could tell she's in trouble. Also, there was a camper nearby the river incident, and the camper was like, "Are you okay?" And Mariah's like, "My husband's drowned. He's dead." And I could see her from where I was standing at. Like, I was looking at her. Like, what is she doing?
Around the other side of the car, then.
Baby, come here. Baby, come here.
Get him.
Wait, come on, girl. Open the car. Open the car. Open the car. Wanda, open the car.
So he's screaming, "Open the car." He was able to gather the dogs up at least.
In there, girls.
Wyoming's wild, man. I'll let you watch it through without me pausing it or talking.
Oh my God!
Back up. One baby there.
Baby! Baby, come! No!
I don't think the dog ever got hit. I think he was smart and went under the car.
Baby. I can't get the car. It's locked.
Oh, shit! Get around the other side of the car, then.
Baby, come here. Baby, come here.
Get him.
Wait, come on, girl.
Stand your ground, dear law.
Open the car. Wanda, open the car. In there, girls. Oh.
Yeah, so so it probably didn't help the situation what she had going on. That's fine. Yeah, Mariah's funny when stuff happens. It's part of it, I guess. Either way, let me do this. I'm going to shift this video. It's going to look really funny while I'm shifting it, but it's because the next video's in portrait mode. The camper was like, "Is that him?" Like, the camper was like, "Is that your husband?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." Like, even the person at the campground could see me, like, just standing there. Like, is that him? Oh yeah, there he is. I was holding about 10,000 pounds of canoe full of rushing river water. That was probably the heaviest thing I've ever held onto in my life. I was in a rapid, and I had my arms locked in. That's what broke my foot, is it got hooked under a rock while it was dragging me. But I had my arms hooked in under the seat of the canoe because we didn't want to lose it. We didn't want to go underground or underwater and be sunk. So I was holding onto the canoe, and we did save it. And it was in a rapid, man, and it was already full of water, and like the water was just beating up against it because it was turned sideways. God, that was probably the heaviest thing I've ever felt in my life. I felt like it was ripping me apart. And even if I wanted to let go, I couldn't have. All right, so we got one more. This looks like something that come out of one of those truth festivals or whatever they're calling them. But I think it come out of a local church. This is what demon exercising looks like. Like, not exercising like going for a walk, but like exercising like removing from the body. Again, could probably be one of Derek Johnson's cousins.
When a demon is faced with a Christian that is filled with the Holy Ghost, when a demon is...
Praise Queesus. Praise Queesus. Mariah, you didn't do nothing to keep me from drowning. What do you mean you'll let me drown? You just flap. If you flapping your arms save me, I wouldn't ever bet on that. I'll tell you that much. You did? What do you mean let me drown? I still had to swim across the river with a broke foot.
His face with a Christian that is filled with the Holy Ghost.
Praise Queesus. I couldn't. Hey, there ain't no way I could handle a church like this. There ain't no way. All that screaming and yelling. There's a festival going on in my town right now, and it took me an hour to get to the office. It took me an hour to get to the office. It's usually about an 11-minute drive. It took me an hour to get here, and then when I got here, I paid for the office, and it comes with 2 parking spots. Both of them had people in them because they couldn't pay $5 to park and give it to a local charity or a ball team or whatever. Instead, they had to sneak around, find my 2 parking spaces, and take both of those. You know, how many demons had a hold of him? All of them. All of them. So that's Tragic Mike and the gang. That's what's been going on. That's what's been going on over on TikTok, in case you missed it, or you don't want the Chinese spying on all your data. There's also some issues going on with the purge. So let me do this. First, let me adjust this video. All the way over like that. Poor Tragic Mike. All the way over like that. Do something like that and like that. Okay, that's about the right scale. So YouTube, not only are they, I told you this was coming, but at least I tried to tell you this was coming. This is a purge of YouTube. We saw this in the 2016 election. We saw this in the 2020 election. It is what it is. When there's an election coming up, YouTube purges channels. So if we go back over here, and we just let's do Nick Rekieta. That's how I remember how to spell it. Nick Rekieta from Rekieta Law has been banned. Nick Rekieta from Rekieta Law has been banned from YouTube in the Great YouTube Purge, and there's a lot of people talking about it. He wasn't the only one, but he was probably the most noticeable, prominent one. Now, he's had issues with Ethan Ralph in the past. He's had issues with Ethan Ralph in the past, and Ethan Ralph is kind of celebrating the victory. He's currently on Rumble. As far as I know, he hasn't been reinstated. He's got a link tree out, so if that's a channel that you support, there's people that are tweeting in his favor, of course. But I don't know how much it's going to do. This is the type of winning attitude we need to see more of. This big, beautiful world. This is Nick Rekieta's Linktree, Rekieta Law attitude too, and why so many of us are saying free Rekieta Law. Hashtag free Rekieta Law. Trying to get YouTube on board. It doesn't seem like it's working very well. As far as I know, YouTube hasn't reached out to him. YouTube hasn't said anything to him at all. The week before, he was suspended. I think it was about a week before, maybe 4 days or something. He was suspended on Twitter. Again, when tech giant companies go testify. Oh, he's back on YouTube? Sweet. When tech giant companies go to Congress, they go testify in Congress. They always claim that they don't. He is back. 476,000 subscribers. They always claim that they don't work together. Okay, they claim they don't work together. They claim they don't share names. They don't share lists. They don't share anything. Obviously, that's not true. Obviously, that's not true. If we just look at the case of Alex Jones, they're doing something. So either you're telling me that you all share, I think it's been proven by insiders and by leaked documents and stuff, that they do share names of people that they plan on banning, that they're going to ban or whatever. But if you listen to CEOs, they say they don't. But like Alex Jones is banned everywhere in the matter of an hour. These other companies, it seems like as if you get banned from one. So either one of two things are happening. You have someone assigned all day long to look at Facebook and YouTube and Snapchat and every other platform, looking for anybody who might possibly be on YouTube, billions of people. And when they get banned, you suddenly just decide that you need to that you need to fucking look into their shit, or you are sharing a list of names, some type of communal chat or something that that you all are sharing names of, hey, we're looking into banning this person. We're looking into banning that person. We're looking into something's going on, and you can't tell me that it isn't. Obviously, it's going on. How do these people get banned at the same time for the same reasons, or no, which is no reason most of the time? How does that happen if you guys are not working together? Hey, Twitter, free Rekieta Law. Now let's get Twitter to free Rekieta Law. So apparently he came back yesterday. Thankfully, Team YouTube reversed their yeeting of Nick's YouTube channel. He will be suspended for 2 weeks. Okay, so he's still suspended for 2 weeks, but he's not banned. He did say that he reached out to his partner. So he has over 100,000 subscribers. He has a contact. He did say that he reached out to him, and said that hopefully that would work. So the quartering was tweeting for him. People were coming forward for him. People were trying to help him out. Apparently, the issue at hand was he had read a list of names of people who had filed complaints against him. Someone reported it as, well, okay. He had read the names of people who had filed complaints against him as a lawyer. He announced on Locals he was going to read the rest of the documentation, which had some of their other things in it. Okay. Maybe it was all public documents, though. It was all public documents that he had access to, that anybody would have access to because it's public documents. And multiple people reported it for doxing. I didn't save the video. I saw a clip of the video, and one person that was in, I think it was the quarterings. Let's see. I think it was the quarterings thread. I think it was his thread about Humble Bean Merchant. Which one is it? Why is there two? Anyway, must be his thing about, he sells coffee now. He was a link to the video, and they were saying, oh, well, he did this, he did that. Oh, no, this isn't it. Not followed by anyone you're following. My other Twitter accounts have been hacked. No, that's a fake one. Okay, let's go back to the Bean one. Sorry. So this is one of the people that said, hey, YouTube, my buddy, Nick, Rekieta, his channel's down. Let's see if we can find the post. It would have been from a couple of days ago. What's today? The 8th. Point of View podcast. I'll be live. Sydney L. Watson, 20 minutes discussing the latest Nick Rekieta ban. I just want to go to the comments and see if I can find that one that kind of described it better than I did. Right Wing Media, Schaefer. By the way, the Elijah Schaefer story has developed a little bit further. It has developed into, Elijah Schaefer apparently grabbed the breast of a female employee. At least that's what some news outlets are claiming, and other people are saying it's legit. Grabbed the breast of another female employee, without permission at the workplace. So if you wonder why Elijah Schaefer was fired from the Blaze, apparently that's it. Rekieta Law doesn't need YouTube. Where does he ask? It seems like the band's suspicious have gone wild the past 24 hours. I agree. It's the great culling. I made a video today. Feather of soon. Dear team. Okay, here. This thread here, I think, is what I want to see. And one of the comments in it, I can confirm this happened. Okay. I can confirm this happened because of his stream in which he read out the names of people who filed ethics complaints against him and directed people to his Locals page where he would be posting full docs. I reported the stream live when it happened. So someone is literally saying that they reported his stream. Whether that's, I've seen a clip. I don't know if you consider it docs. He wasn't asking anybody malicious he wasn't asking anybody to maliciously attack. He wasn't giving out information that was private. It was information that anybody could have accessed if they would have just looked it up. And it wasn't like he's saying, okay, now here's their address. He was publishing the paper about his complaints on his locals as a picture. Okay. That was his plan. And it had information like the person's name, which he already said their name. And it also had like old addresses from when they filed, could be current, maybe not current, from when they filed the complaint and stuff like that. And it had their complaint. He was going to post the pictures of his complaints. I guess he thought it was funny that people had filed complaints against him and he was going to post the complaints. It would be like me if I published every time I was written up at work. And I was like, here's all the times I was written up at work. I'm going to tell you who wrote me up, supervisor, superintendent, this, blah, blah, blah. But I'll post the reports over on my Rumbles channel or on my Locals channel. And so this person actually said, like, I can confirm this is what happened. And I did see a clip of him talking about it, but I didn't think it was to the extent they said. They still gave him a 2-week ban, so he won't be uploading there for 2 weeks, but he is on Rumble now. It's like, I don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why. You would think that YouTube would be better at spacing. I guess it's a money thing. Why would YouTube come out at election time and get rid of all these channels and then pretend like they're not doing it for some type of political motive? Like at election times, they get rid of a certain type of channels every time we've got an election, even sometimes during midterms, but at least in the 4 years, we've already talked about that. We know he got his channel back. At least in the 4 years, the presidential ones, wouldn't it be less obvious if they banned you over a 4-year period rather than coming out like months before an election and just banning like 30,000 channels in a couple months? Why don't they spread it out? Other than they make money off of it. They make advertising money. They keep them as long as they can. They get to say we have this many people using our platform, and then suddenly they get to drop them. I don't know. It seems like it's pretty incriminating, if you ask me. But it is what it is. So someone mentioned this in chat. It is a new PayPal policy. It's going viral. So the claim is, we're fixing to look into it. The claim is with hashtag PayPal that they updated their policy, and we're going to go grab their policy straight from the website, so we know it isn't it hasn't been altered or photoshopped or changed. The PayPal user agreement for PayPal US. And let me see I'll pull it up on the screen in just a second. Let me see what section they're talking about. Okay. Here's what they're talking about. PayPal user agreement. And we're going to start reading it from here. And it doesn't look like it was edited. Actions we may take if you engage in any restricted activities. I know it's hard to read, but I'll be reading it for you. If we believe you've engaged in any of these activities, what are those activities? That's these right here that are listed. Restricted activities. Breach of the user agreement. If the PayPal acceptable use policy commercial entity, blah, 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 applies to you, balance terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. If you violate any law, statute, ordinance, or regulation, for example, those governing the financial services, consumer protections, unfair competition, or anti-discrimination, or false advertising. If you infringe PayPal's or any third-party copyrights, patent, trademark, trade secret, or other intellectual property rights, or rights of public or publicity or privacy, sell counterfeit goods, act in a manner that is defamatory, trade libelous, threatening or harassing, if you provide false, inaccurate, or misleading information, if you send or receive what we believe to be potentially fraudulent funds, if you refuse to cooperate in an investigation or provide confirmation of your identity or any other information you provided to us, attempt to double dip during the course of a dispute by receiving or attempting to receive funds from both PayPal and the seller, bank, or card issuer for the same transaction, if you control an account that is linked to another account that has engaged in any of these activities, if you conduct your business or use PayPal services in a manner that results in or may result in complaints, requests by buyers to invalidate payments made to you, fees, fines, or penalties, or other liability or losses to PayPal or other PayPal customers, third parties, or you. If you use your PayPal account or the PayPal services in a manner that PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, or any other electronic fund transfer network reasonably believes to be an abuse of the card system or a violation of the card association or network rules. If you allow your PayPal account to have a negative balance, if you provide yourself a cash advance from your credit card or help others do so, if you access the PayPal services from a country that is not included on PayPal's permitted countries list, if you take any action that imposes an unreasonable or disproportionately large load on our website software systems, including any networks and servers used to provide any of the PayPal services operated by us or on behalf of the PayPal services, if you facilitate any viruses, Trojan horses, malware, worms, or other computer program routines that attempt to or may damage, disrupt, corrupt, misuse, detrimentally interfere with, surreptitiously intercept or expropriate or gain unauthorized access to any system, data, information, or PayPal services. If you use anonymizing a proxy, use any robot, spider, or automatic device or manual process to monitor or copy our websites without our prior written permission, or use any device, software, or routine to bypass our robot exclusion headers, interfere or disrupt or attempt to interfere with or disrupt our website software systems operated by us or on behalf of us, any of the PayPal services or other users' use of any of the PayPal services. If you take an action that may cause us to lose any of the services from our internet service providers, payment processors, or other suppliers or service providers, use PayPal services to test credit card behaviors, circumvent any policy or determinations about your PayPal account, such as temporary or indefinite suspensions, harass and or threaten employees, agents, or other users, abuse our online dispute resolution process and or PayPal's purchase protection program and or PayPal's seller protection program. All right, so those are the rules that you can't do. These are all banned activities, okay? And out of these banned activities, it basically covers all the bases. It covers fraud. It covers counterfeit. It covers misusing this, misusing that, attacking our website, using crawlers, using bots, spamming, DDoS. It covers everything. It covers everything. If you violate those terms, it says, if we believe you've engaged in any of these activities, we may take a number of actions to prevent PayPal, its customers, and others at any time in our sole discretion to protect PayPal, its customers, and others at any time in our sole discretion. These actions we may take include, but are not limited to, the following. So this is what, if you break those rules, they can do this. They don't have to do them all, but these are some actions we may take, not limited to. There's other actions they can take, but they're not limited to, and the following, and here it is. Terminating the user agreement, limiting your PayPal account and any linked balance, and or closing or suspending your PayPal account and any linked balance account immediately and without penalty to us. So they can close your account, terminate the agreement, and they can keep the funds that are there. Okay? They can refuse to provide the any PayPal services to you in the future, so they don't have to work with you in the future. They can limit your access to their websites, software, and systems operated by us or on behalf of your PayPal account or any other PayPal services, including limiting your ability to pay or send money with any of the payment methods linked to your PayPal account, restricting your ability to send money or make withdrawals. So they can basically, they can ban you from their websites. They can keep your money. They can terminate the agreement. They can refuse to let you have services, and they can limit your access to send, receive, pay, whatever. Holding the balance in your balance account. The balance in your balance account or any money waiting to be claimed through your personal account. If you do not have a balance account linked to your personal account for up to 180 days, if reasonably needed, to protect against the risk of liability, or if you have violated our acceptable use policy. So they can hold your money for up to 180 days. If you get, like, if you guys send me a donation, they can hold the money for up to 180 days to limit their risk of liability. So if they just believe like, oh, this looks like something that's going to get charged back, we're going to hold this money for 180 days. That might be my light bill. Hell, I got bills due all month. Like, this is what pays my bills. I don't know what the alternative is. I'm just telling you what's going on. That they can hold that. They can remain in place. The hold may remain in place longer than 180 days if you, according to court orders, regulatory requirements, or other legal processes. So if there's a legal process going on in the background, it might even be longer than 180 days. But if there's not some type of court order, regulatory requirement, or legal process, 180 days is the max. 3 months. No, that's wrong. 6 months. Suspending your eligibility for PayPal's Purchase Protection Program and or PayPal Seller Program. If your eligibility is suspended, amounts you retained under the PayPal Seller Protection Program in the 30 calendar days prior to your suspension may be recovered as amounts owed to PayPal. So they can kick you out of the Purchase Protection Program or the Sellers Program, and if you're suspended, they can retain the amounts that you made under the PayPal Seller Protection Program for the entire month, 30 days prior to your suspension, and may be recovered as amounts owed to PayPal. Yeah, but it's not, I mean, obviously anybody can use Cash App. I'm talking about me streaming with alerts and with donation goals and shit like that. None of that shit works with it. The amounts, these amounts constitute actual damages suffered by PayPal as a result of your actions. So payments that you retained at PayPal's expense that were not otherwise entitled to, and we may debit your PayPal account accordingly. So at least they clarify that a little bit and say, yeah, we can hold this money for 30 days that you made all month, but we're only going to take it for damages that we can prove. That basically we fronted you the money, then the payment was canceled, or we found out you stole someone's credit card, you found out it's fraudulent, blah, blah, blah. They can start charging the high volume dispute fees for all current and future disputes, irrespective of your dispute ratio or sales volume, given PayPal's increased involvement as a result of such restricted activity. So if you get a high volume of disputes, they can start charging a high volume dispute fee. If your dispute ratio is 1.5% or more, and you've had more than 100 sales transactions in the previous 3 full calendar months, you will be charged a high volume dispute fee for each dispute. Otherwise, you will be charged a standard dispute fee. It looks like, what is the dispute? How much is the dispute fee? You will not be charged a high volume dispute fee, blah, blah, blah. There's more. I just fucking got here somehow. I don't even think it says how much it is. Go back. Yeah, again, I'm not talking about for general use. Like, I have to have one that links to some type of tipping service, or just do away with all the alerts in general. They can contact buyers who have purchased goods or services from you using PayPal. They can contact your bank or credit card issuer and any other impacted third parties or law enforcement about your actions. They can update inaccurate information you provided to them, take legal action against you. If you violated our acceptable use policy, then you are also responsible for damages to PayPal caused by your violations of this policy. Now listen, this is the part everybody's freaking out about. If you are a seller and receive funds for transactions that violate the acceptable use policy, then in addition to being subject to the above actions, you will be liable to PayPal for the amount of PayPal's damages caused by your violation. You acknowledge and agree that $2,500 per violation of the acceptable use policy is presently a reasonable minimum estimate of PayPal's actual damages, included but not limited to internal administrative costs incurred by PayPal to monitor and track violations, damage to PayPal's brand and reputation, and penalties imposed upon PayPal by its business partners resulting from a user's violation. Considering all currently existing circumstances, including the relationship of the sum to the range of harm to PayPal that reasonably could be anticipated, because due to the nature of these violations of the policy, actual damages would be impractical or extremely difficult to calculate. PayPal may deduct such damages directly from any existing balance in any PayPal account you control. If we close your PayPal account or terminate your use of PayPal services for any reason, we'll provide you with notice of our actions and make unrestricted funds held in the balance of your balance account linked to your personal account or in the balance of your business account, or any money waiting to be claimed through your personal account if you do not have a balance account linked to your personal account available for withdrawal. You are responsible for all reversals, chargebacks, claims, fees, fines, penalties, and other liability incurred by PayPal, any PayPal customer, or a third party caused by arising out of your breach of this agreement and or your use of the PayPal services. So if we go to Twitter, if we go back to Twitter where they were talking about it, we have people saying PayPal is lying about their new policy, saying that $2,500 fine for misinformation was an error. Sure looks like it says users can get a $2,500 fine for spreading misinformation to me. So what they're claiming up here, where it says what people are freaking out about, what people seem to be freaking about, Control F. Well, I thought. Mischaracterization, no. Promise, no. Providing false, inaccurate, or misleading information. The one before that says act in a manner that is defamatory, trade libelous, threatening, or harassing. Provide false, inaccurate, or misleading information. Send or receive what we reasonably believe to be potentially fraudulent funds. Now, I don't think it has anything to do with like, oh, they're trying to say that you can't say certain things or they're going to charge you $2,500. I honestly think they mean, hey, where misinformation would be about like lying about what you sold or how much you claimed or how much you did, or you sold it to this person, but really you just stole their credit card number or bought it on the dark web or whatever. But people are kind of freaking out because it says that if you send or receive provide false, inaccurate, or misleading information, that you're in violation of their policy and that they can use that policy to take up to $2,500 per incident down here. If a seller receives funds for a transaction that violates the acceptable use policy, then in addition to being subject of the above actions, you're liable to PayPal for the amount of PayPal's damages caused by your violation of the acceptable use policy. Now, they're also saying like $2,500 is the minimum because the reason they're not going to actually go through and add up how much you owe them is because it would, it would take too much time. So instead, they're just going to start charging $2,500 each time, a minimum, and it could be more. So if you donate to me through Buy Me a Coffee, that goes through Stripe. That's the reason I use that the most often. That goes through Stripe, and Stripe seems to have a much better track record, a much better user agreement, a much better everything. So if you use buymeacoffee.com, that processes through a Stripe payment system, and it seems to have a lot better. Now, PayPal did respond. Let's see if I can get their response. So this came out on the National Review, and a bunch of other Y Combinator, unacceptable use policy, while PayPal freezes or limits accounts. There's a bunch of things going on here. By the way, here recently, I've been getting a ton of fucking PayPal scams. A bunch of PayPal scams over through email saying, oh, well, you just been awarded, or oh, you just received a payment. You just received this, you just received that. I don't know why they've probably been coming the last 2 months. And it's been like overkill. Like I probably get like 30 of them a day. Let's see. Here it is. PayPal pulls back, says it won't fine customers $2,500 for misinformation after backlash. How did you get in trouble with Buy Me a Coffee? PayPal pulls back, says it won't fine customers $2,500 for misinformation after backlash. God damn it. Stop linking to new ones. PayPal has backtracked on a published policy that would have fined users $2,500 for spreading misinformation, claiming that the update had gone out in error. An AUP notice recently went out in error that included incorrect information. PayPal is not fining people for misinformation, and this language was never intended to be inserted in our policy. Our teams are working to correct our policy pages. We're sorry for the confusion this has caused, a spokesperson told National Review in a written statement. This course reversal comes after the policy changes had started to attract media scrutiny as well as criticism on Twitter. Former PayPal president David Marcus even blasted the company over the implication that it could seize customers' money for finding their views objectionable. Quote, it's hard for me to openly criticize a company I used to love and gave so much to, but at PayPal, new AUP goes against everything I believe in. The cryptocurrency entrepreneur said Saturday, a private company now gets to decide to take your money if you say something they disagree with. Insanity. Tech titan Elon Musk replied, agreed, in a comment that got thousands of likes. The policy update had appeared to authorize the company to pull a significant sum of money from the accounts of users who spread misinformation, along other newly listed offenses. The new conditions were scheduled to be added to the restricted activity section of the PayPal user agreement effective November 3rd, the Daily Wire first reported. Change includes prohibitions on sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that promote misinformation. That was apparently one of the policies that were previous in it. It seems like it's been updated now. Sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that promote misinformation. Where is this at? Let me see if I can find a screenshot of that. Because the one that everybody's highlighting now has nothing to do with that. Is there a screenshot of it? Lets companies pull users' information if they promote. Okay, let's see it. It came from the National Review, so that's where I'm at. PayPal's AUP notice. It's hard for me to believe. I want to see the old conditions. Where are those at? Did someone have those? Cryptocurrency entrepreneur, PayPal's AUP. The company misinformation. I got the new conditions. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the old conditions. Sorry. Let me find the old, the previous set of conditions. Here's a Reddit post about it. Because this sounds much more damning, but it was also broken up in two different quotes. So you have to be I guess you have to be well, I guess I would have gotten a thing. Let's see, PayPal. I would have gotten an email about it, I'm sure. It is the user agreement. Automatic transfers. They've already updated it that way. Let's see what I can find here. It's broken everywhere I see it quoted at. It's broken up in two different quotes. So do those quotes go together? That's what I want to know. Or do they not?
If you invest in the S&P 500,
The hell? Don't do that.
may be too concentrated in.
Sorry. Okay, here, I think this might be it. Upcoming changes. Okay, this came out on September 26th, maybe. It took a long time for people to read it, didn't it? Details, past policy, upcoming changes. We're going to make certain changes. Actions needed. Zettel, PayPal Zettel. This page, upcoming changes, action needed, U.S. business accounts, U.S. PayPal accounts send, no. The agreement to arbitrate, no. Interfere with PayPal services, no. So it's none of those. Oh, effective November 3rd. We are clarifying the terms, applicable merchants. We're clarifying PayPal, blah, blah, blah. Zettel hardware, Zettel terms and conditions. I guess it's not on there anymore. I figured someone would have a cached one of it, right? I guess PayPal owns Zettel now. An AUP notice recently went out, an error that included misinformation. PayPal is not. Spokesperson added. Oh, there's $5 from.
Tipped $5 first trophy.
Thank you very much. $5 more for a tip. Thank you. That's 2 tips. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate it. Sure the goal will update in a minute. We're gonna do by the way, we're gonna do a Patreon show after this. It'll take me a minute, but let me see if I can find this first. I want to know why they're cutting it in 2 different quotes like that. It's hard for me to openly criticize. Let's go to this tweet. Why won't this load for me? So there's like a PDF it keeps linking me to, but it won't load for me. And I don't know why. This post has been removed by moderators. Like they're pulling it down everywhere. It's disappearing quicker than I can find it. Let's see if someone's just saved it in images. Chill, Mariah. Damn, this is gonna be impossible to read. Let's see if I can grab it here. So this is supposed to be, I guess somebody sent it in. Let's see if we can read it. Sales, control of possession, sales involving sending, posting, publication of message, content, material that PayPal's sole discretion are harmful, obscene, harassing, or objectionable, depict or appear to depict nudity, sexual, or other intimate activities, depict or promote illegal drug use, depict or promote violence, criminal activity, cruelty, or self-harm, depict or promote or incite hatred, discrimination of protected groups of individuals or groups based on protected characteristics, race, religion, gender, gender identity, sexual orientation, etc., present risk to user safety or well-being, are fraudulent, promote misinformation, or are unlawful, infringe the privacy, intellectual property rights, or other proprietary rights of any party, or otherwise unfit for publication, relate to transactions involving any activity that requires pre-approval without having obtained said approval. This doesn't even look like they sent this to you in an email. Wonder why I didn't get the same email. I'm looking through all mine from PayPal right now. Under PayPal, this is upcoming changes that they own Venmo as well. If you didn't know, but this is updating changes to Venmo. Provides to be plaintiff proceeding. Provides only permitted seek relief. Provides that prior bringing in dispute or claim. Provides the value of relief sought $10,000. Okay, so the Venmo doesn't have anything about it in there. It's very weird. I didn't get one. Automatic transfers, no update to the user agreement. I use PayPal like religiously, probably through a that was through the Stream Elements at Suko, the bomber link. Oh, is that what you donated through? Yeah, I understand people are sending it to me. I want to see it in a full context where I can click and get to it, or someone can show me a chain of fucking ownership to it. Not like I found it somewhere else. I wish they would have emailed me a copy. But apparently this is what it said. Involving sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that in PayPal's sole discretion are harmful, obscene, harassing, or questionable, depict or appear to depict nudity, sexual, or other intimate activities, depict or promote illegal drug use, depict or promote violence, criminal activity, cruelty, or self-harm, depict or promote or incite hatred or discrimination of protected groups or individuals or groups based on protected characteristics, race, religion, gender or gender identity, sexual orientation, etc., prevent a risk to user safety, well-being, or fraudulent, promote misinformation, or unlawful, infringe in the privacy, intellectual property rights, or other proprietary rights or any party, or otherwise unfit for publication. But apparently they've stepped that back down now, and now it's just the one part about providing misinformation. But apparently that's providing misinformation to PayPal, not just stuff that they can decide is misinformation, which does seem like an overreach. But it seems like they've walked that back. I wish they would have sent me a freaking link. That would have been nice. At least I could have clicked on it. It was supposed to go into effect November the 3rd, but we never made it there. They usually are pretty good about posting this stuff early. I don't know if they're required by law to post it so early or not. That bothers me now that they didn't send me an email. I wish they would have. Either way, that's PayPal's update. People are still upset about it, I guess, because PayPal's claiming that they're claiming that it was never intended to be put out. People are saying, well, it seems like it was intended to be put out, and now you're just walking it back. You could have just come out and said you were wrong. But I don't know. They're claiming that they never intended it, even though all the newspaper headlines say they reversed course. The company will not seize money from people promoting misinformation. That's from the Epic Times. I don't know. I use PayPal, Venmo, Stripe, Cash App. I use about everything. I actually am trying to get there's a couple of people that asked me about donating to crypto wallets. I'm trying to get my crypto account unlocked. They keep asking me for a picture of my driver's license. I keep sending it to them, and then they say it doesn't match. So we'll have to see. What is this? Negative 17,000? $17,000. What does this say? PayPal literally just took $20,000 from me in A&P violation damages. I still didn't know what I did despite appealing to financial. I think this is bullshit. Somebody took $20,000 from you. Yeah, it looks like it's a satire account. The CEO of PayPal. Here's people calling for the firing of the CEO of PayPal. The CEO of PayPal needs to be fired and then go bankrupt. Atsuko with $15.
I'm no super hater.
No super hater. Are you even from Japan? Oh, you wouldn't shut down somebody's show, would you, Atsuko? I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. What was the post I was just reading? It's hard for me to open. Oh, no, that's not it. Where was the post? The CEO of PayPal needs to be fired, and then PayPal should go bankrupt. A new CEO is pointless. It's tainted with sick dictator mentality. This is horrible, and people should be incredibly concerned about this. China would be proud. Well, if you don't know, China's Team Trump. So there you go. No, but she'll take someone's country. Oh no. Oh no. Yes, it went through. Thank you very much. Atsuko's been stirring up some trouble at other places. It depends on which stream you go to. So if you go to a lot of streams, they'll call her Atsuko. If you go to Sage at Sage News Live at sagenews.com.live.sage.sage appearing here, Sage's hat at AOL.sage, then you'll actually hear her called Astuko. Astuko, which is her criminal alias, Astuko. Puts on hashtag PayPal, fuck them. That's why. Hey, Joe Biden is the worst president of all time. PayPal, that'll be $2,500. A lot of people are very upset. You can see it. It's still trending on Twitter. I'm always afraid to like just scroll through Twitter because they allow nudity and stuff that would get me banned. But there's a lot of people that are upset about it. Forgot to hashtag. So, as Twitter is new to me. Success, pain in the ass, few phone calls, we got it done. The girl said there were many calls for this and it's concerning. I told her to go woke, go broke. People are closing their accounts. Sorry, too late, already canceled. Bye-bye PayPal, you woke leftist psychotic losers. PayPal, hashtag PayPal. We don't need PayPal, they need us. Hashtag PayPal, Bitcoin. After the PayPal bullshit, is this propaganda for hashtag Bitcoin? You bet. If you still like the digital currency idea, check out why PayPal is trending, closing my account. So people are saying that you shouldn't even invest in like crypto and Bitcoin.
Just resubscribed for 5 months.
It's trying to say your name, Jessa PhD, and it says Jessa because it thinks it's PH makes the F sound and then D. If so, people are trying to use this as reason to say, hey, you shouldn't even have crypto, which is crazy as well. Because they'll just take it from you. That's not exactly how most crypto, how blockchain works. There's nobody to take it from you. Basically, the way blockchain works, real quick before we wrap up, is you're transferring money, and the reason that we know this money exists and the reason we know that it's transferred is because all of these other computers that are linked to the same system, millions of computers, all saw it happen and all recorded it happen. The only thing a bank really is good for is like making sure a transaction happened. Like you could technically go take cash and go to your light company and pay the light bill, okay? What a bank does is says, okay, yes, Will has the cash. Yes, the light company will accept the cash. Here's that transaction. The transaction's approved. The light company says, oh, we did get the cash, and they send me a receipt. The way crypto works is the same thing happens, but instead of the bank making sure you have the money, sending the money, and then showing the light company that you sent the money and they got the money, and then them issuing a receipt, is all these computers that are all in the system, all the computers that are connected, every computer that's connected to that system records Will sent money for a light bill, and the light company can look and say, okay, everybody says he sent it, and I can look and say, okay, everybody says I sent it, and then I'll get my receipt. But there's not really a thing to just take it. That's why it's almost impossible to hack it. The Isle of Lesbos, well, you'd be surprised. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about yours. You don't worry about mine, okay? Anyways, thank you for joining us. I'm going to hop off here. This has been What You Recently Missed. I'll see everybody next week. This is a weekly show. We're going into a Patreon show over for CBC. You can join Patreon by going to coldbeer.fund coldbeer.fund. We got a $15 and up Patreon show. Give me about 5 minutes and we'll be ready to start that. Thank you for joining us for this show. Again, it's weekly. It's every Saturday. I know the last one was on Sunday. It's every Saturday around 7:30, somewhere around there. Thank you for joining us. I hope that caught you up on some of the information you may have missed. I'm still working on the intro and outro. If you have any recordings like radio, like 90s to early 2000s radio recordings, you're more than welcome to send them in. Like I always listen to W.Y.R.M, the Worm. I'm going to make a mega cut of those and use them for promotional reasons and this and that. So if you're top tier patron, we're going into a Patreon show. Everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow for Sunday's show where we just kind of goof around. Have a good night, and we'll see everybody on the next one. I don't know what to tell you about PayPal. I've got so many accounts in it right now. I kind of got to use it until something better comes along. Have a good night, guys.
Not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to
I gotta change all these overlays back over too. It'll be 5-10 minutes. I'll be live with the Patreon show. Thank you for anybody that joined us on Rumble. I didn't see anybody over there, but at least we know it when we get taken down.
Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. As soon as I said that, there was a $20 super chat over on Rumble from Jones Gary Don over on Rumble. Thank you very much for that. It says, just notice this. Are you live on 2 channels? Cannot really watch tonight. Watching football with the wife. I'll keep you on in the background and send you a little love, hoping you'll understand. No, thank you. Thank you very much for the donation. I didn't even see that come through. I should have been paying better attention, I guess. But thank you very much for the donation and the support, Jones, Gary, and Don. I appreciate it.
Not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. Wow. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Yeah. Party till 5 in the morning. Do it again in the morning. Do it like we Dennis Rodman. I think the government watching. Minister perfect society. Struggling with my sobriety. Struggling with my anxiety. Are you feeling the insanity? Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep drowning me. Blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling. Tell them to shut up the chattering. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me.
All right, guys. Have a good night. See you next week. Or see you later tonight or tomorrow on the main channel.